All right, so we have 88 people live at the moment. I think there are more people are coming in. I think we should start. Hello and welcome to the second edition of Teen Media's webinar series. A very good evening to all of you. Very happy to see you all online, and thank you so much for coming online. I think we'll just wait for some more people to join in. I can see a lot of people are joining in. So we'll just wait a minute or two so that more people can come in. All right. Okay. So today we are talking about reinvent your business through domestic tourism, the digital way. For those who are not familiar with Tin Media, we are Malaysia's homegrown travel trade digital media. We focus on hospitality and tourism. We believe that we can help and assist tourism industry to go digital and be relevant in today's time. My name is Prashant Chandra. If you have difficulty in calling my name, you can call me PC, and I'll be your moderator today. I'm very, very excited to be hosting this session today. So sit back, relax. Let's start the session. So Tin Media has come up with a series of webinars called the Problem Solving Series, which will be organized on a weekly basis with intention to educate and help the tourism industry players about importance of digitalization in your business, whether it's a product, destination, or service providers. By having industry leaders from various sectors to share their experience and advices in front of a live audience like you. So we have received overwhelming response for the first session we had last week, and we thank you for encouraging us to discuss on such a relevant topics, which is helpful to the growth of our industry. And some of the questions you want us to ask is also included in today's session. So today's webinar, we will talk about domestic tourism opportunities Malaysia has, which was never prioritized, as many tour operators were too busy in running after inbound and outbound markets due to more margin benefits and other benefits. As we have come to a stage where we are now getting an opportunity to concentrate on this market, which is undoubtedly has a very high potential. So I request every operators, every product owners to take responsibility to innovate various tourism products around your area, your state, your city. There are many beautiful places, wildlife, mountains, waterfalls. Still, they are not very popular in our country because we are not promoted them aggressively. And you have your experience of handling worldwide markets. And my request that bring in that and make Malaysia the most amazing place. One of, all of us want to look for our next holiday, something like sell Malaysia to Malaysians, isn't that exciting? So take this as a social responsibility to boost our tourism industry, to help the economy of our nation. With the right approach and message, even as a traveler, we will give Malaysia the first preference. Ladies and gentlemen, who is joining now? Thank you so much. We have still people are joining us. We appreciate you take time to join us. So we request each one of you to voice out your opinions, feedbacks in the comment section so that we have a wide range of subjects to discuss and brainstorm. The panelists here today are to share their experience, which will surely benefit you to venture into such a lucrative market, which is the domestic market. Today, we have three important people in our panel. I will shortly introduce you to them. Before I move on, let me request all the viewers to make this more interactive by using the comment section below. You can post all the questions, suggestions you have in your mind. We may not have enough time to respond during the live, but we will respond it afterwards as well. And one more important request, we would like to encourage you to share today's webinar with your social networks, share it with your WhatsApp groups, your Twitter, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Facebook group, so that more and more people can watch this as well. So without any further delay, let me introduce the super special panel of experts. Let me give you a brief introduction about them. Then we will move on to them with our discussion. So first speaker we have is Ms. Nareda Othman. She is the General Manager of Sabah Tourism Board, a state-owned agency responsible for tourism marketing and promotion. Sabah Tourism Board has been very active on online platforms, especially in digital marketing. She will have a great insight to share with all of us today. The second speaker we have is Mr. Alan Tan. He is the Managing Director of the Habitat Penang Hill. The Habitat is a world-class ecotourism facility located on the fringes of a 130 million year old virgin rainforest on the Penang Hill. And the third speaker we have is Mr. Wing Tan. He's a digital strategist with years of experience in digital marketing, a part of Digital Transformation Task Force. He aims to help and guide businesses through the digital journey. So for those who are just joining us now, warm welcome. Thank you for joining in. Please share this feed with your network. So let's go back to our speakers. And let's speak to them. All right, so I would like to start with Nareda. Nareda, can you give us a bit of an introduction and how the world has changed for you during this COVID-19, and if you have any special updates about Sabah or you like to give to the viewers? Nareda, over to you.
Thank you, Prasan. Good evening, and good evening to you. Thank you, Tin Media, for inviting me to join this webinar. And hello, Alan, as well as Win Tan, and all the viewers this evening. For us, as you know, I'm the General Manager of Sabah Tourism Board, and we call it STB, and we are a state tourism marketing promotion agency for the state. And I've been in the industry for the last 30 years. So how young I am. Anyway, how much the world has changed for you? I think just like everyone else, the world has certainly changed. Our view and our way of working. Working from home was never an idea that we must have. You know, we are always in the office. Yeah, this must be the longest time I've been sort of stuck at home. For a continuous 6 weeks. So it has certainly changed. And of course, it is the biggest change, or rather challenge for all of us, is working from home. Yeah, with our own personal responsibilities at home that we have to take care of, and continuing trying to be as normal as possible being home. Nevertheless, we continue to ensure that there is conversation between our stakeholders in our tourism industry players, and we are always updating each other. For my team, we are very active on social media, and we're also very active listening to what the world has to share. For all the last couple of weeks, there has been so many webinars, and I think this week is overlapping too. There's many webinars happening all around in Malaysia as well as overseas. Today I've listened to 2 webinars, and this is my 3rd one for the day, which I'm one of the participants. I think by the 7th week, we were just talking to Alan, and we were thinking, what day are we in already? It's our 7th week of working from home. The danger is getting so used to it and not wanting to go back to the office. No, however, we have had to adapt. I think adapting to the current situation is very important. And at the same time, we still have to be relevant, especially us in the tourism industry. We, someone just said today, we are the first one to be affected, and we may be the last one to actually recover from this current crisis. I surely hope not that we are the last ones to recover. However, meanwhile, we have to stay strong. We understand everyone is in the same situation as us. We are not the only ones. Some may be in a worse, dire situation than us, you see. So I think for us, we have to be strong and stay relevant. And adapting to the situation is very important. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Norida. Looking forward to hear from you. All right, let's go to Alan. Alan, how much world has changed for you, and what is the update from Penang Hill, Alan? Over to you.
Well, as Norita mentioned earlier, just like everyone else, we've had to change everything, the way that we do things. We've had to first get over the shock, I think, of how fast everything changed overnight, almost. Even though we had months and months of warning from China. I mean, looking back, I still do not know how we missed the signs. Even our head office, which is based in Hong Kong, they were going through it for 2 months, from December into January, and we still didn't really. It never really dawned on us how much everything would change overnight, practically. Yeah, Penang Hill, of course, has been closed. The entire hill has been shut for the first time. The second time in its history, but for the longest time ever, it's been closed now for over 5 weeks. Now we're into our 7th week. We've had to adapt quickly. I was just remarking to my fellow panelists earlier how the first month was basically getting over the shock and trying to restart the engines and basically trying to reinvent the way that we do things and the way that we think and the way that we approach our tasks and our work. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But we're definitely pivoting towards going digital. In fact, we just held our first virtual tour of the habitat this week and last week. We actually had such overwhelming response from the first event on the 22nd of April, which was Earth Day in conjunction with Earth Day 2020. And we actually had to do a repeat performance yesterday on the 28th, which was really wonderful. We had participants from around the world. So this is definitely the first of many virtual tours and forays into the digital space that the Habitat will be taking going forward.
All right, great. Thanks, Alan, for the update, and we're definitely looking forward to hear from you. And shout out to all the people who are online now. Hi, Wan Masudi. Hi, Clement. Hi, Rahul. Hey, thanks for coming, guys. All right, so let me move on to Vin. Okay, Vin. So tell us a bit about. I have this question for you. Like, why is it going online is a must at this time? Or
Okay,
digitalization.
Yeah, I think like our fellow panelists have said, it's already a must. Everyone can see it because now you cannot go out, so everyone will be actually spending their time more on their screens. Either it's mobile screens or their computer screens, their tablets. They'll be spending time on their screens. So in order for you to actually reach out to your customer now, you need to be online. And also, to be online is just one thing. You need to be where your customer is. So that's why, as you said, the reason why to be online is, first thing, you need to get your business to your customers. Even though, you are already stopping, it's like for tourism industry, you cannot do business like usual, but you still can be doing your branding, right? You still can actually let people know that, oh, Malaysia have this thing, Malaysia have that thing. What your company is actually providing, what your company will be providing. You can actually start promoting, because everyone is trying to focus on the new products. they are trying to bring the products from last time and change it into the products that they can use it now to put into online so that people will see it. So you can actually podcast out what's your planning through online. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, rightly said. Yes, I think let's move on to Noreda, the
Mhm.
next question. Yeah. So, how is domestic tourism as of now? I mean, if you say pre-COVID, what was the scenario in Sabah, and how many percentage of visitors were actually domestic tourists? If you talk about Sabah.
For Sabah, domestic tourists has always played a big part for us in our tourism arrivals, and 65% of our arrivals are domestic, basically. And Sabah recorded about 2.7 million domestic arrivals last year in 2019, and that was an increase of about 8.3% compared to the previous year. Our number for February is a slight drop only, 5.2% compared to 2019, but that is purely because flights were still ongoing, unlike now. Today, I think we have only one flight a week from Kuala Lumpur. So,
All right.
wanna cry? So yeah, so for us as a destination, which is the furthest from Peninsula Malaysia, Peninsula mainland, and there's no way, or rather hardly any way for travelers to come over to Sabah to KK if we don't have flights. So air accessibility is very, very extremely important for us. So without the air accessibility, without the connection, even domestic market will be doomed for us too. So unlike Penang, you can drive from Kuala Lumpur to Penang. You can drive all the way down to Johor, or even all the way down to Singapore for domestics. You see, but for us, they have to fly. They have to fly. So
All right.
it will be a big challenge for us too. Yeah.
Right.
Nevertheless,
Yeah. I mean,
go ahead.
yeah. Okay. So, I mean, 60% is a lot. I mean, it's a big
Yes, it
number.
is. Yes.
Okay, so let me move on to Alan with the same question. Alan, how is the domestic tourism scenario in Penang? So, what is your outlook on this?
Well, I think that everyone knows Penang is Norida just touched upon it a little bit. We are a major domestic tourist destination, tourism destination. We've always been. We're very lucky in a relatively small state that we have such a diverse range of products that can be geared towards the tourism sector. Everything from the forests and the hills where we are, to the sea and to Georgetown, and all the way down to the beach and the ocean. So we've always been very lucky in that way. And we also, of course, we have our amazing melting pot of cultures. As with much of Malaysia, Penang also has that. Of course, in our UNESCO World Heritage Site, Georgetown. So we're very lucky that way. For the habitat itself as an attraction, we've always prided ourselves that 55% of our visitors are local. And of that 55%, over 65% or so are Penangites. So that's a very important statistic that we've always been very proud of. Our founders, the Cockrell family, really want the habitat, and all of us on our team, we really want the habitat to be a part of the fabric of Penang and to be a part of the community. And we want Penang people to be proud of this world-class ecotourism facility that we've brought to the state, and we've created for the benefit of Penang and for Malaysia, and also for everyone from around the world to enjoy.
All right, perfect. So 55% is a big number as well. So
Yeah,
it's really, it's very impressive. Yeah. All right. So I have Win. I have this question for you. So, common tools can be used to market a tourism product. Like, what are the common tools a business can use?
Okay. A common tools that a business can use right now, I believe this one as a free one, which everyone can have the accessibility now, is social media. So I would say that the social media would be actually the best tool to choose right now, because social media is where people are hanging out now, whether it's Instagram or whether it is Facebook, and maybe you can actually include this YouTube, even though YouTube is not the social media, but that's where people hanging out now. So these three main things will be actually the places where you need to be, even though if you are actually B2C or you are doing B2B, you can be at all these platforms at this moment to actually promote your things. You see, many people that they actually have a Facebook, they do have a Facebook page, a business page, but they didn't actually make full use of the Facebook page. What you can do is a Facebook page, you can actually promote your products, and you can actually share your products in a Facebook group. So you can actually find the groups which your customer will be in to join the group. And whenever you have any content available, such as pictures, you need to have any updates, or you have videos, or you are trying to send a message, you can share out to the groups. For example, travel. There is a lot of travel groups in Facebook, and the numbers are crazy. It can be up to like 100 over people. It can be 10,000, 100,000. So there is where your customers are. So when actually you post things inside, your things will have what we consider a free marketing. You post things inside, then they saw it, then they feel that it's interesting, they will actually share it out for you. So the free tools to join is, of course, Facebook, Instagram, and try do some video and join YouTube. You may even get, YouTube paying you for creating the videos. And I would like to add something is maybe after this or now, you can actually find the platform where they have they focus more in travel, like Club, Faith, all these kind of platform. They have those they have those package plan. So you have to list your product inside those plan, because people now they will be on their screen. So they will just Google everything. And let's say if they know that this, okay, let's say for Klook, they know that anything related to travel, hotels, tour, transport, airlines, everything, they will be just going to Klook. So when your product is in Klook, it doesn't matter if you are paying them commission, but of course you do have extra traffic from there. So you all can actually find more of this product. I believe that after this MCO, there will be more and more platform. I think this idea is very good for B2B agents. They can actually try to create a new platform for Malaysians to actually put all the Malaysians products inside that platform, and we can actually market it internationally. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Back to you, Prasan.
Yeah, all right. That's a good thought. I think, yeah. So we will move on to Noreda with this question. If What are the opportunities Sabah as a destination in domestic tourism post COVID? If you could shed us some light on that.
When the time is safe to travel again, it is expected that Malaysians, of course, will travel within our country first and help our local economy grow. And our local industry or local tourism industry has been badly affected, especially here in Sabah. And of course, the only right thing is to support local tourism businesses. Sabah is blessed with many nature-based tourism products, and we will continue to promote our nature-based tourism products, but we also have embarked on promoting our rural tourism, or rather community-based tourism, where you can actually learn and have more of an experiential travel experience with the local community. So these are the things that we are planning to fully push when it's post-COVID. At the same time, we're also looking at, we know that social distancing will be a new norm when MCO is lifted. Nevertheless, you can still have different kind of business events, even if it is for virtual events, doing CSR program, helping the local community to get back, onto on their own feet again. And of course, like I said earlier on, the most important thing is our air accessibility. We are very much dependent on air links, especially when it is, be it domestic or international. So we hope that when the MCO is lifted, airlines will start, bring back their links, or rather the routes into Sabah, and we can work from there on. Yeah.
All right, perfect. I would just like to take a question from the viewer.
Mm-hmm.
Pravina is asking that maybe state bodies can work out for some training and coaching for operators to be more exposed to the digital world. Do you think a state bodies does something like this?
If I may, thank you, Pravina. Well, for Sabah Tourism Board, we didn't just start now in terms of trying to inculcate the digital marketing into our local tourism players. We started it a couple of years ago. I mean, we've even organized a few digital marketing seminars or conferences in Kota Kinabalu, especially for our local tour operators and all that, and also our hoteliers, be it the big hotels or rather the small players. So we have been doing this for the last couple of years. But of course, with post-COVID, we will have to look at it in a different way. Yeah, I suppose we're not going to work under the normal circumstances anymore. We don't know what is it going to be. We don't know what's ahead of us. But we will definitely still push for digital, and we feel that digital marketing will be the way. I mean, look at what we're doing now. Yeah, everything is on virtual, so we have to take opportunity in that. So we wouldn't just. It's not a new beginning for us. We're not just starting after post COVID. We started a couple of years ago, but how are we gonna take opportunity from digital marketing after post-COVID? We will have to see what's our new norm. Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Narita, for answering that. Let me move on to Alan. Alan, as as an eco-tourism product, what are the opportunities in domestic tourism post-COVID you have?
I think that the opportunities are definitely are quite tremendous. I think we already sensed it, quite frankly, before the outbreak, before the pandemic began. The consciousness in the public and in society amongst people about the importance of taking care of our planet, about the importance of making sure that we make choices in our personal lives to positively affect the planet and positively impact the planet. I think this was already prevalent. I always remark to people how amazing it is. The Habitat opened its doors in January 2016. So this is our 5th year of operation. But in those 4.5 years or so, I tell you, the amount of awareness in the general population for about all the causes and the entire premise that the Habitat was built on, which is environmental consciousness, conservation awareness, the importance of sustainable living, and making choices in our own lives to positively impact the planet. All these things have just become more and more popular. You look at Greta Thunberg, you look at Jane Goodall. We just hosted her in the Habitat last November. She honored us with a visit here in Penang. So all the messages that David Attenborough, you name it. There's so many people who are now switched on to the importance of taking care of our planet. And I think that the outbreak and the virus and what we're going through now, the new normal, as everyone is calling it, or the next normal, I think putting the planet first and putting the environment in the center of all our decision making, rather than having it be an afterthought, I think that is going to be front and center to all that we do. Sustainability is another word that I hear used a lot now in the context of the context of what I call the COVID economy. So until we all know that until a vaccine is found, we're going to have to live with social distancing. We're going to have to live with all these new restrictions on our personal lives and our choices on what we want to do. Hopefully, Narita, I hope you're right. I hope that once MCO is lifted, people from Johor can drive to Penang, but I'm not sure how long it will be before that happens. But you're right. We do have the benefit of being in the peninsula and being accessible via other means of transportation apart from air. I think that there are many opportunities for an attraction like ours. Incidentally, we also have a not-for-profit arm called the Habitat Foundation, which does work in conservation and research and environmental education. Environmental education is actually a pillar and a cornerstone of everything that we do at the Habitat. Our founders, the Cockrell family, are passionate about the environment and they are lovers of nature, and that's why we are doing what we are doing.
All right, thank you, Alan, for those insightful information. I would like to take a question here for Alan.
Yep.
This is from Raine. She's asking, could you share, one, how much time Habitat took to create a virtual tour, and which platform did you guys used? And the second question is, you can answer the first question. Yeah.
Sure. So we used Google Meet to host the event. And it took us it took our team about a month to put it together, but we had help. We had partners who are in the NGO world. So our foundation team, the Habitat Foundation team, and our environmental education team spearheaded the project throughout the last 5 weeks. We worked with an organization called Greensmiths and also Night Spotting Project. I challenged the team very early on. I said, look, going forward, we can anticipate future MCOs, future lockdowns. This new normal is not going to go away anytime soon. So let's brainstorm and challenge ourselves to see how we can bring our experiences basically online. So this was the first attempt. It took us approximately a month to do it. How is it different from a physical tour? So our first event was called the Habitat After Dark. And what it's meant to mimic is actually basically the night walk, which happens after our daily sunset walk. So one of our iconic structures at the Habitat is called the Curtis Crest Treetop Walk. It's a circular viewing platform. It's the highest viewing platform in Penang State and Penang Island. We are about 800 meters above sea level. You get panoramic 360-degree views of the island and the mainland. So normally, and the walk actually overlooks Western Hill where the sun sets. So once the sun sets, you actually have a short 30-minute walk through the Habitat Trail, our nature trail, which is the backbone of our park. And our team were able to really, I was amazed and blown away at how they were able to capture the essence of the experience. Of course, you cannot beat being there in person, but they were able to really capture the essence of the experience of a night walk at the Habitat, and to make it interactive as well. The way that our forum today is interactive through the live chat and the live comments, a very similar sort of interaction and interactivity. And the last question is for business who plan to virtual. Could you? Okay, I think the most basic tip I can give you is just go for it. Just try. And like Win was saying, there's so many tools out there which are free. So we not only did our amazing team at the Habitat put our first ever virtual tour together in a month, but they did it with tools which were free. So it can be done. You just need to think out of the box a little bit and you need to challenge yourself in this new environment. I always like to think of Charles Darwin is credited with with saying that coming up with the theory of evolution is the survival of the fittest. He's always credited with saying it's survival of the fittest. But actually, what he said was it's the survival of the most adaptable. So I always say to people nowadays, in this new environment, in this COVID economy, you either adapt or you perish. So I, for one, fully plan to adapt, and I know that everyone in the habitat, from the owners all the way to all our team, will definitely feel the same way. So we're definitely going to adapt.
All right. Thank you so much, Alan. I think, survival of the most adaptive person. Yeah, if that makes sense. Right. So let me move on to Wayne. Okay, so there are so many. Unfortunately, there are still so many businesses, especially operators, are offline. They are not able to figure out how to go online, and there's still a lot of confusion among them and stuff like that. So, when how if an offline business, what is the first step they should take to go online? If you just tell us a bit about that.
Okay. For this question, I think it will be linked back to the previous question, which is social media. Because social media, let's say you don't know how to be online, you don't know how to bring your business to online, but you must ask yourself this: do you have a Facebook account? Are you using a Facebook account? Are you actually viewing us right now through a Facebook account? Right. You already know how to use a Facebook account. So bringing your business into online is not as hard as most of us think, because online there is many way of you can bring in a business through online world. For example, you can actually open a website, but the first step for a traditional business, you can do it by going into Facebook. That will be the greatest achievement, that when you actually look back, you're like, oh wow, I did the right choice. Facebook will be the first thing you need to go into, because when you explore into Facebook, they actually they bought up so many companies, you see. So once you are into Facebook, you can actually play along, and you will see Instagram is coming up. So when you actually play along in Facebook page, you can actually, oh, this button is quite good. Just press it. Just try whatever you see interesting. Because in this online world, there is no right and wrong. You have to actually go and try everything. Like just now Alan said, you have to actually try all the things to see which is most suitable for you. Because channels is just it's out there, it's everywhere, but which works the best for you, you will never know if you never try. So what I can say is, just go on Facebook, go to the, I think, to the left side of your Facebook page, and you see there is a page button there. Click on it and press a create page. Yes, once you press a create page, everything is magical. You will see how how to put your logo inside. Okay, for example, those business that they will be thinking, oh, okay, so I'm on Facebook now. What should I do? I don't know design. I got no one that knows design. All my team is, seniors. You can actually use these free tools. It's a free online platform tools called Canva. 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 Canva is actually a free tools. You can actually go canva.com on your desktop, or you can actually download the apps, Canva apps. So this free tool is what I can say is a magic for almost everyone, even digital marketers. Because not every digital marketers know how to use Photoshops. So this Canva when you create an account, you go inside, you just need to choose which template that you like the most. After that, you just, change the picture if you want, you just change the words, the message that you want, and you just download it. Most of them is actually free. So you can just download it. There is no watermark and all. You can actually put in your logo if you want, and you just post it up on Facebook. And for example, let's say I don't go so high tech, but how do I stay engaged with my clients? I'm on Facebook now, but how do I stay engaged? Right? What you can do is you just post what you do daily. You can actually post what you do daily, such as I bring a group of people to this and that. If you have photo from previously, you can actually reuse it now. It's the best time for you to reuse it. Even though you already use it, let's say for those people that have the Facebook page, they already post it, you can repost it. And you just bring out the moment, sharing to the people. Let's say we go to the habitat, let's say. We take a photo at the skywalk. You can actually post it and you say, oh, you miss going that place, you miss going that place, miss bringing your tourists go to that place, seeing their smile under the sunsets. You just have to create all this kind of feeling to let more and more people have the urge, because I believe now everyone have the urge to go out. They just want to go out, and they can't travel far, so they will definitely travel in Malaysia first. So the best place to go first will be Facebook.
I
Right,
thought it was
thank you.
Sabah.
Back to you.
All right, thank you so much. It was more of a Facebook marketing tutorial kind of thing, but it was. I think everyone has enjoyed it, and a lot
Yeah.
of information is there. All right,
And
so
also,
I'll ask. Yeah,
sorry. And also
continue.
remember to visit Sabah after this.
Thank you, Will.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so let me. All right, thank you so much, Win. Okay, so let me ask. Okay, let me go back to the question session. So I need to ask Noreda. We've spoken about the opportunities, right? So let's talk
Mhm,
about the challenges now. Uh,
mhm.
what are the key challenges? I think as a destination, you have.
Well, like I said earlier on, we are the furthest state from the capital, from Kuala Lumpur, and of course, you have to fly in order to get to Sabah. And pre-COVID-19, due to our strong currency among the neighboring countries, a lot of Malaysians actually travel out of Malaysia into Indonesia, Thailand, the Philippines, and even airfares were much cheaper to go there than flying into Kota Kinabalu. So this is one of our challenges, our biggest challenge. Like I said, air accessibility is of prime importance to us. So the airfare will constitute a big decision-making factor for anyone who's traveling to Sabah from Semenanjung or from Peninsula, Malaysia. So one of the main challenges, of course, if post-COVID will be when the airlines will reinstate their flights into the state again, when MCO is lifted, and also to what extent can they travel, right? And as you all know, with the current economic scenario, or even post-COVID, the number of people that will probably lose their job, see the purse is tighter. We have to accept that. And if it is easier for them to travel, get into their car and drive all the way to Penang, that's probably what they will choose. But I pray and hope that we will be the next destination they go to within Malaysia, especially when they always have thought that Sabah is different. Sabah is different. We, of course, when Penang has their, what do you call it, the heritage site, the town as a heritage site, we also have a heritage site, which is the mountain, So you don't get any other mountain as tall as high as Mount Kinabalu. So that's one of the factor that attracts the domestic market. They must see the mountain. A lot of them, even though when they reach or rather land in Kota Kinabalu, they look for the mountain. It's although yeah, the thing is right in front of them. Although you can see the mountain from the airport, nevertheless, it is there. But that is one of our prime attraction, the mountain, and of course, our nature-based tourism, the islands. The fact that the islands are just 15 minutes away from the city. You see, although we're surrounded, our city is surrounded by water, and we are. But you can hop onto the islands, the Tunku Abdul Rahman Marine Park, within 15-20 minutes, you're there. You can drive up to the mountain, within 2 hours, you are there too. So these are the attractions. But the challenges would be, of course, when the airlines can reinstate their domestic flights. So we hope that will be soon. But at the same time, just like any other destination, we will have to work on our SOP, the safety and the health, practices, where all our destination or rather our tourism products have to come in with their new SOPs to ensure and give confidence to the travelers. Yeah, these
All
are
right.
the
Thank you.
challenges that we have to go through. Yeah.
Thank you, Narada. Thank you for those insightful information. All right, to the viewers, I have this question. Can I ask you guys, how many of you have been to Penang? How many of you have been to Sabah? So those who have been to Penang, press 1. Those who have been to Sabah, press 2. If you've been to both places, you can press 1 and 2 both. So let's see how many of the viewers have been
Plus
to both
three.
the places. Anyway.
Narrator, I don't worry. Sabah is a special place. We all know that.
All right.
I'm sure the tourists will come back.
Yes. Oh, we're quite confident. Yes,
Yeah.
they will come back. It's just a matter of when exactly.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, we have to put our new SOP in place. Make sure that our players are resilient enough and are able to adapt to the needs of the post COVID-19. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
All right.
sorry, Prashant, may I chime in?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay, so that's really what I've personally been doing, and our team at the Habitat have been doing the last 2.5 weeks or so, 3 weeks. We've been basically focusing on business recovery, and of course, a big part of that will be adapting to the new normal and adapting to the more stringent levels of personal hygiene and as a basic social distancing, not having big groups. We have zip lines, for example, in our park. And we've been trying to strategize how on earth you're going to social distance when you're zip lining with people in a 30 meters off the ground in the top of a tree. How on earth you're going to social distance? But we think we've cracked it. We think we've actually figured out a system. And what inspired us, the solution was actually, there's this picture going around of the AirAsia crew in the full hazmat suit with a shield. With the face shield. So we think that is the answer for how we're going to adapt our zip lines to the new normal. I remember pre-MCO people remarking, and a colleague of mine went to Singapore, and he told me that he and his girlfriend were the only ones wearing masks, and everyone in Singapore was making fun of them because they look funny.
Okay.
Right.
I can tell you now, it's completely 180. It's completely going to be the other way around. The new normal will be, if you do not wear a mask, people will shun you. People will think that you're crazy, and they'll be fearful of coming near you or allowing you to come into the establishment. So I think that people generally are very resilient. Sometimes they're short memories, but hopefully not too short. I think it's our job as an industry to make sure that we live up to this new standard of these new standards of behavior and operations. As you said, the SOP, right, Noreda? I'm reminded of the experience that I remember that Hong Kong went through after the SARS pandemic, the SARS outbreak in 2003. I remember people remarking that prior to 2003, the service industry in Hong Kong, from restaurants to you name it, anything service related, people were always so rude to you because they could get away with it. Because everybody kept coming. Correct. Everyone came to Hong Kong. It didn't matter how rude the service was. But after SARS, they had to reinvent themselves. They had to adapt and adopt a new standard of service. And I think that will be a key part of our strategy as an industry going forward, regardless of whether it's for domestic tourists or whether it's for an international tourist. It doesn't matter anymore. We should just all apply a higher standard. We should all demand more from ourselves. We should definitely, in this period now, be doing all the groundwork to prepare for when the industry starts to turn around, when the rules are slightly more relaxed. But we should never be complacent. We should never be complacent because this virus will be with us for a while, and it can flare up. We've seen it happen in Singapore. We've seen it happen in Hong Kong. Although I hear Hong Kong has it under control now. But many other places, Hokkaido, I hear, is having its second wave. So we can never be complacent. And we here in Penang, I know as an industry, all our industry players. I'm part of the Association of Tourism Attractions of Penang, ATAP, and our Exco for Tourism, YB Yosun Hin, and the CM himself, have just established a tourism recovery task force for the state. We are all industry players very much involved. We are all making sure that our voices are heard, and making sure that we contribute in a positive and constructive way to pave the way for the recovery that will come. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of communication, coordination, and teamwork, I think. But I think that's the key to it. We've got to work together.
Yeah.
We've got to.
And if required, we have to work twice as hard. We do so.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And we will
And just to the point on social media and how powerful it is, and also linked to a point which Nareda made at the very beginning of the talk. She said we must remain relevant. And I think that social media is the most important tool for us to remain relevant at this time. And again, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. I think that the Chinese have shown us how it's done via the WeChat universe, as they call it, the WeChat and Alibaba universe, where everything is done via chat, and you can literally you are always present in the minds of people, but yet there's of course a fine line of doing it, of how you do it. Sometimes people can get a bit of fatigue from digital media. So there is a fine line, and you just need to strike the balance. But again, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, and it can be very easily done. I know a friend who runs a restaurant on Penang Hill, a friend and a colleague, and also a fellow ATAP member. He recently started selling steak on Facebook Live. So again, you adapt. You just have to adapt.
Rightly said, Alan. I think I can't wait to have your zipline ride wearing that suit. Right, yeah.
Me too.
All right, so
Actually, I mean, for my point of view, actually, people are actually they are looking forward for this kind of thing. They're actually looking forward for that they want to travel. They are very very the itch is there. They want to travel, but they are scared at the same time. So they will be wondering, all right, I want to travel to this place, but how safe is that place? What you are doing is absolutely great. Seriously, it's very good. You actually solve one of the fear of your potential audience that they will be traveling. They'll be like, oh, great. It may look a bit weird. It may be something new, but it's definitely an experience that I think most of us want to try. Right?
Yeah,
you can
true.
never actually, if without all this COVID, you won't be actually thinking of wearing a full suit to play a zip line, right? So the thing is, when you make the things into creative, when you think outside the box, maybe the suit you can make it a bit special, like maybe orangutan style. Yes, it's something special that people, when they go there, first thing they will do is take picture. When they take picture, before even they play the zip line, they already post it on social media. See, so what you can do actually is you can even include the GoPro socket where people actually
Absolutely.
can the more
Again,
content,
yeah.
it will be better.
I think
So
that the other, sorry, Win, sorry.
yeah, it's okay. You can continue. Zai.
I think that the other thing that's relevant to our topic today about going digital and adapting to the new normal using digital means is that one of the things that we've been working really hard on is of course trying to to crack our brains on how we can go digital in terms of offering our experiences online. But yet at the same time, we want to balance that with with it being not so much that people just opt for the digital experience rather than the real thing. Because really, as I said earlier, there's nothing that compares to really being there in the forest, being there on Penang Hill, in the at any time of day, really. So I think that a useful exercise for everyone is to really really sit down and crack your brain and brainstorm and discuss and share and brainstorm together with friends, with associates, with colleagues, how, and learning from elsewhere as well, right? We are so blessed to have access to a wealth of information at the tip of our fingers via a device called the mobile phone, right? The smartphone. There really is no excuse for us not to learn from other people's experiences. And that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been trying to do, keeping busy doing that, trying to reinvent ourselves, trying to go digital and to devise ways to offer our services digitally. It may not be something that you can monetize immediately. I have to make that point.
Yes.
However, you need to make a start of it. And even if it is to offer free experiences digitally first, monetization can come down, can be down the road. I firmly believe that. Again, don't be afraid. Just go for it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Alan, for those inputs. Can I ask Norida, you will already have some strategies to attract more domestic tourism, to your state. So can you share some of the strategies with us to the viewers?
Well, for us, definitely we will relaunch some of our marketing strategies. But of course, we are ready to help our local tour operators. We have a few different platforms, be it a trade show or online. We are working closely with our tour operators and all that, as well as product owners, to ensure that their products are relevant and they're able to cater to the needs as well as the wants of the domestic market. We must also understand the limitations and the restrictions of travel post COVID-19, and to also be sensitive about the economic situation. So I saw some comments there, Sabah being more of on a pricey side and all that, but we're also looking into more of giving value to the travel, giving more rather what they call experiential travel. Like I said, even though you're going into the local kampong, local village, it's what you get and what you learn from the local community is what you bring back home. The memory will last forever. And I think for us, it is how we can introduce our way of life through. We've worked with several very good key opinion leaders, and we will continue to do that to actually allow them to experience what Sabah has to offer and to showcase or rather share their experience with their fans or their followers. I think this will be the key into our digital marketing strategies. Opening up the eyes rather and the heart to explore, like what Alan says. Looking at it virtually is great, but being there, yourself, it's totally something different. But this has to be conveyed virtually to actually make them want to travel rather than just, yes, I'm enjoying, be a couch potato, just watch it from far and virtually. I'm sure at the end of the day, Alan does not want people to just watch Habitat from far. He wants
Of
them
course
to
not.
come and visit Habitat. Likewise, for us as a tourism, a DMO, or rather tourism board. We want people to actually make sure that whatever that we share virtually will eventually, ultimately make them buy that plane ticket and are ready to explore and experience what Sabah has to offer, be it the nature, the beaches, the islands, and the people and the culture. You know, we have more than 30 over cultural ethnic communities. You can't finish that in 1 month. Yes. So this is what we want to showcase. We want to tell them there's nothing like experiencing it yourself. So I think the need to convey that to the domestic market, to say, okay, yeah, don't just look at Sabah virtually, and we know you enjoy watching or rather seeing the aerial view of the, you know, Kudat, the long stretches of beaches, but buy or rather save your holiday, save your leave, and come to Sabah, right? And
All right.
experience it yourself. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Norita. Thanks so much, guys. We are running short of time. We will have to summarize this maybe in about 10 to 15 minutes from now,
Mm-hmm.
because we already it's 9. Yeah. So I have this one last question to Alan. For tour operators and travel agents audience, what are the collaborative opportunities you have for them from Penang Hillside?
Actually, that's thankfully one thing that hasn't changed because of COVID. Um, we've always been very open to working with tour operators and travel agents to curate unique experiences for their guests. That has not changed. In fact, as Noreta said, we will work doubly hard now to attract partners to work with us from all over to to ensure that their guests are safe. I think that it's so important. I cannot stress enough to put in the SOPs and the framework for safe travel in this new COVID economy that we're facing. As long as we do that, I was just on a call with all our Penang Hill stakeholders today, a meeting that was called by Penang Hill Corporation, and that runs and operates the train and takes care of the whole hill generally. We have, and this is something which on the ATAP level and on the Penang State level as well, we're talking about a uniform code of conduct. Again, working together, communicating together, working together to ensure that our visitors are safe. And not just for visitors, mind you, of course, we have to worry about our own staff as well. Equally important, yeah. But definitely for tour operators and tour agents, we're very, very happy to work with you. One thing which some of you may be aware of, for those who are members of MATA and members of MCTA, we've actually already got a collaboration that was spearheaded by PGT and PTAC prior to the MCO, where we've committed a certain number of tickets at a certain discount, at a heavy discount, for packages offered through MATA members and through MCTA members. So you can actually contact PGT about that, or contact PTAC, or contact ATAP even. Through our Facebook is probably the easiest, and we can actually help point you in the right direction if you are a MATA or MCTA member. It's still early days in the planning here for Penang in terms of our business recovery plan. We're still working on it. Again, as all the speakers have said, it really much depends on the exit strategy that the federal authorities have to allow us to return to some semblance of a new normal. How soon they'll remove the travel restrictions and the movement restrictions, all that will play into our planning. So we have to remain vigilant and nimble, and to adapt as more information comes our way.
Thank you, Alan. So I think all the viewers, if you have more questions to the speakers, do send to us. We will try to get an answer for you because we are running short of time. So any final thoughts, Narita? Can you just give us your final thoughts to the audience?
Thanks, Prasan. I concur with what Alan has just said. It's still early days for everyone, I suppose, but nevertheless, we have to prepare. Every day there's something new that crops up, and we will see how we exit this alive. I think for us, like I said earlier on, we have to look at our SOPs. We have to be ready. We have to adapt to these new challenges, but nevertheless, be excited about it. Don't go sluggish on what's happening now. The most important thing is that we keep ourselves fired up, be excited. And they always say there's always a silver lining. There's always the light at the end of the tunnel. Well, light your own fire, so be excited, and think of new ways. Be innovative. Don't limit yourself. Alan, I'm glad I've managed to hear what Alan has to share with us tonight, and I hope our team, as well as our operators and product owners in Sabah, will also are also hearing him tonight. So I think that's a good insight for us too. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Norida. Yeah, please, if you have anything else to say.
No, Alan?
Thanks so much, Norida. So I think it was a fantastic having you here. We are so blessed to have you and have your views here. So we'll again going to see you back with some other webinars or some probably in person pretty soon. So thank you so much for your time and all your advices.
I'd like to say see you soon in Sabah.
Definitely.
See you soon.
Thank you.
And in Penang.
All right, let's move on to Alan. All right, so any final thoughts, Alan?
I think firstly, I would say make sure you get through this. Do whatever it takes for you to survive the current terrible circumstances that we're in. Always have hope and faith. There is a way to get through this. Make sure that you whatever you need to do, make sure you survive this, because the recovery will come. Yeah. And I have faith in people and human nature. We're very resilient. We will come back again, and we will come back stronger than ever. Definitely go digital. Look, that's the whole topic that we're discussing tonight. Wind is an expert, I know, and so are you, Prashant, of course.
And of course, you too.
Yeah. So we'd be, if you want to chat or get some more, discuss this further with us, you can contact us on social media, and definitely we'll share our experience with you. But definitely fight. Get through this. Use this time to think out of the box and reinvent yourself to fight another day. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alan.
And thank you, Prasant. Thank you for inviting me.
You're most welcome. We'll see you back soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you guys. Bye.
All right. So, Wind. So, what is the final thought, Wind?
Okay. Would you allow me to answer a few questions that I see is quite interesting online?
Sure.
Yeah. Actually, there is people asking whether TikTok is actually, the trend now. Well, I think TikTok is definitely a trend now, because TikTok, they just launched the advertisement platform, where you can actually go inside TikTok and, promote your things inside. So TikTok will be definitely a new platform where, everyone can explore into, especially if you are targeting those younger audience, the millennials. So you definitely have to go inside TikTok, but you need to know whether if you want to target these millennials or you want to target senior citizens. So it depends on you. Okay. So for now, we are doing a domestic one. So we can't, international travel is not allowed. So what you can do is you can promote whatever you have in every social media available. Just go and explore it. Just try to find ways to actually learn it, especially through YouTube or Google. These two places is the best teacher ever, I think. So TikTok is the first thing. And then if you are actually looking forward for international travel, you can actually focus in Chinese apps, like Douyin. Douyin is actually a Chinese TikTok. But TikTok is used internationally and also, US and all. But Douyin is mostly for Chinese people. So if you are actually planning to have China guests back to you in future, you can actually find the ways to actually promote in Douyin. Okay, so what you need to do is just create contents inside and promote as much as you can. Create something new, like what Alan just shared just now. It's definitely a new experience. People will be, flirting on and trying the suits. So it will be a new thing. So TikTok is definitely a thing right now. All right. Another question is digital world by this Ryan Core. He was mentioning digital world will encourage illegal operator, which traditional industry players disagree. Government don't have enough enforcement to control. Well, I think it's sorry to say, because whether you are already the traditional business already in this digital world or not, the illegal operators they are already inside. You know, the illegal operators they are already inside digital world. I think earlier, much more earlier than the traditional business that have been operating for years and years. So it's definitely a must for you to go online now in order to stop people in joining those illegal operators. So what you can do is actually you need to promote your business. You need to promote your office. All right. You need to create more contents about your company lifestyle, about your staff lifestyle. So what you can do is maybe from day to day you can actually post what your staff is doing. Maybe your staff is talking with people in the office, things like that. So to actually makes your customer aware of it, you can actually directly tell, please be aware of those illegal operator after this MCO period. You can actually directly tell it, or you can actually indirectly telling it by creating more contents related to your own brand. All right. What I can suggest is, let's say, if you are traveling, if you are bringing people, your tourists to travel and visit places, what you can do is just take up your phone and take a quick snapshot with them, ask their permission if they are okay with it. You can tell them that we're gonna take a photo, or maybe a group photo with yourself inside, to actually post on social media and let people know that you are actually a legal operator. So people will have the conscious that, oh, I have to be more aware of these illegal operators, because now it's more and more, those online scams. The scammers are, they are way better in digital marketing than us. So people are actually start to be aware of, these scammers, the illegal operators and all. So what you can do is you must actually indirectly educate your the fellow travelers, telling them that you need to be careful of these people, because once they pay their money they are gone, so it's totally no point. So what you can do, post more of your content. You can actually, if let's say your company is under constructions, what you can do is, post your logo, or post the tourism cert, the license. You just post that thing and you link it to the tourism's website, where they actually type in your number and search for it. So what I feel is, to encounter this, the best way is for all the travel agents or all the tour operators, everyone, just basically everyone, you try to create this is something like a viral. It's something like engagement, where everyone do it at one time. People will be following it. Like the cooking, DIY your cook. So everyone is doing the cooking, and the coffee. Everyone is making the coffee. So what you can do is you just post this post and ask people to search for it. And when people search for it, maybe ask them to post it on your comments area, to create this kind of the viral going on. So when people are doing it, you will have this, the solution is indirectly already solve it, because in future when people they want to search for tour operators, they will have those habits of, oh, I better go check it out because I want to make sure that they are real. Even though you are domestic, of course you come from KL, you come all the way to Penang. If you've been cheated, you still know how to travel because there is Grab, there is everything, language is all fine. But to be cheated is something wrong, and I believe everyone don't want it. So this thing is what I can share with to actually encounter this problem on the illegal operators. Yeah.
All right.
Then
Okay.
yes,
Thank you. Yeah. You have more
and there
more to
is
go with?
there is one more thing I would like to add in. There is many people been asking that how can those people, the tour operators, everyone they learn digital marketing, whether they have to go and sign up for a course or they have to attend for a course or they have to pay for it. I can tell you this, there is actually no need for that because there is one platform, international platform, all right, it's international platform well known by everyone, which is Google. They are actually providing this digital marketing course for free. I believe Prasan just finished the course and got the cert. You got the cert. The cert
Yeah,
is
quite a while back. Yeah.
yes.
Right.
The cert is a verified cert with a unique ID. So what I will do is I will share the link inside the comment area for you to go and explore more. You go and try to take up the courses and go through, how digital marketing actually works, get the idea of it, and you will see more and more ideas coming up into yourself. Right. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Wayne. Thank you so much for all the advices and your
Thank you.
discussions.
Thank you.
See you back soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. See you.
All right, guys. So all the speakers have their own, opinions, and I hope you had a good session today. So you might have this question in your mind that, especially I'm talking about the operators, yeah. There is no demand now, and it's difficult to sell. There's always they bargain so hard. We're talking about domestic market. So let me try to tell you something, my friends. Create your own demand. As I mentioned earlier, start with creating unique experience around your state, your city, your area, and sell value. Focus on weekend getaways, self-drive holidays. After this COVID, self-drive is going to be a very key, holiday segment, which is going to go higher. And walking tours, there's single travelers packages you need to come up with. You can come up with senior citizens special packages because everyone is looking at safety, while traveling. So the best part in domestic market is that you can retain your customers. They will come back to you regularly if you give them good service. So it doesn't happen with your inbound customers. So create a campaign to make people spend the holidays in their own country as a sense of responsibility. So I'm sure all the states are coming up with their own campaigns, and the tourism boards will come up with their own campaigns. So there are so many travelers who want to go out of country and stuck because of this COVID. You can convince them to travel domestic. And I personally believe that tour operators is more relevant post-COVID scenario. The reason being, people do not wish to just book a resort or a hotel online without knowing how safe or hygiene it is to stay. They need an advisor. So the role of travel operators can actually take up, the operator can be the advisor actually. So it is an opportunity for every operator. So I believe today's session was informative to all of you. The upcoming sessions, we will bring other segments of the industry like MICE players, convention bureaus, tourism departments, and online technology providers. So ladies and gentlemen, looking forward to see you again next week. Once again, thank you for watching. Have a good night.